Welcome. I hope you enjoy the conversation you're about to hear between me and another comedian regarding comedy and religion. These are conversations I'm calling Disorganized Religion. God bless, and for those atheists out there, may nothing await you after this life. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Disorganized Religion. I'm your host, as always, Seth Lawrence. We've got the disembodied voice of Travis Clyburn.
Peace be with you.
Hey, that was a good one today.
Less offensive?
Yeah, I like the mellow. I like the mellow. We're just starting out.
Yeah, I think Jesus would be pretty chill. You know?
Yeah, I think he'd be all right.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
He hung out with harlots. He'd probably be pretty cool
chill
on
to
the
hang out
sarcasm.
with hookers, you know?
I mean, you got to have a sense of humor at least, right?
Yeah, waka waka.
Speaking of hookers, no, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I am so happy. What you don't understand as listeners and viewers is how lucky you are to be graced with the presence of our guest today, because she hates what she's about to do.
I do. I hate podcasts.
So I would like to welcome Kim McVicar.
Hey.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
I
Thank
hate
you
podcasts. It's great.
for overcoming your fear.
I'm not afraid of them. I just think there's too many of them. There's more bad ones than good
How
ones. And
dare
the jury's out on this one.
Yeah.
Because
Is
we
it?
just started.
Oh, on
We'll
this
see.
particular
yeah,
one.
we'll see.
Yeah, you did no research. You didn't listen
I
to any other episodes.
100%
Good.
did not.
Coming
I have
in
no
fresh.
idea what I'm doing. I just know you, and I think you're fun.
Well, thank you. This is
Yeah.
going to be totally different than me as a person.
Oh, good. This is
It's going
more.
to be awful. No, it's gonna be, we'll see. We'll see. You give
Yeah,
us
yeah.
your judgment at the end.
Okay. I'll weigh in. We'll do a
Yeah.
1 to 10. Right now we're at a 5. We'll see where we go.
I thought
Good.
only God could judge us.
I don't know. I think we can all judge each other, right?
I think that's
100%.
fair, right?
You're married, so
Yeah.
you clearly judged people.
Yeah, I actually used to be a judge for dance competitions, and when I was one, I
There
would
you
always be
go.
like, I judge for a living. Like I
Yeah.
have my taxes say judge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's different when we're like, hey, you're going to heaven, you're going to hell. That's a different thing than just being like, you deserve.
Oh, what are you wearing? Or yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't you have any makeup on?
How dare
Because it was supposed to be just a podcast.
Makeup is a conspiracy
Oh, is it?
developed by men to keep women down. Did you know this?
I did not. Do you
Totally.
believe in conspiracies?
Oh, I love conspiracy
But do you
theories.
believe in them?
There
I
are
like
some.
listening to people who are crazy, but I don't know if I believe in them.
There are some I believe. Yeah.
What
yeah.
ones?
Flat Earth? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I don't
like
believe
this.
in the
A
flat
lot of those
Earth
guys
one.
are super religious.
Yeah, that is true. No, that is not something I share with those people.
That's fair.
But I do believe in some of the Clinton body count stuff. Have you heard of this?
Oh,
Well,
that shit's
I
real.
don't want to talk about
Dude.
this
It's
because
so real.
I am on the board with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives
He
me
moved
chills.
in high school. This girl,
Bill?
like
Who
a
are you
friend of
talking
mine,
about?
Bill Clinton
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hillary Clinton, when he was
Yeah.
out of office,
Sure.
became neighbors with one of my friends in high school.
Yeah.
And it was like her house that we would underage drink at.
Beautiful.
And we had to like
That's Bill's jam.
stop because he moved in because there was Secret Service.
Of course.
And we weren't like, now looking back, I'm like, yeah, Bill probably would have let us. He would have been like, yeah, this is
He would
great.
have encouraged it.
But
I'd rather you do it at my house.
as a teen,
All
we were
over,
like,
man.
oh, this isn't good. There's Secret Service.
They're watching
Ugh,
us.
I can't even imagine if pot was legal then. How's it Gary? That would have been
Oh, man.
way worse.
Yeah. They were probably all high on it,
You want to
though.
watch me play saxophone? Come on.
You
I
ever-
never saw him. I did see Hillary. I never saw him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe Bill's the robot.
I mean, it was right around when he came out as like, oh, I did a bad thing.
Oh, so he was just...
They probably weren't
Laying
like
low.
sleeping in the same house at the time. Maybe
Probably
not.
not.
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
judging.
Where's their summer home? Do they have one in like Connecticut or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who
this
knows?
was in New York. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Well, let's talk about your what got you started in stand-up?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I really don't. I
Yeah.
used to be a backup dancer for a while, and then
Right.
I moved to California, and I was dating a guy for like a day, and I said to him, "Hi, I'm gonna do stand-up," and he was like, "Okay, let's meet my friend who does stand-up," and I met him. And then I was like, oh, I'm better than that. And then I went home and wrote a 3-minute piece. And then I got up at IO West in the back. This
Oh.
is like 9 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And then my best friend brought like the head of NBC to it. And
Wow.
I hate her to
Jeez.
this day for that.
Yeah. What the heck?
And I had like
That's
a piece
crazy.
of paper. I basically wrote a monologue.
Yeah,
And it was a
yeah.
nightmare.
And you read it? Did you read it or did you
I
have
think
it
I
memorized?
had it memorized.
Yeah.
And to this day, because I just saw her recently, she was like, no, you were the funniest one there. And I was like, you're very nice.
You shot me in the foot.
I tried to tell her that she needs to come watch me now because I'm way better.
Right.
At least
Yeah,
I
of
hope
course.
so.
It's like, no, I already saw it.
Yeah, well, I saw it one time, the first time, and that was it. But yeah, it was an interesting show.
Interesting.
There was a guy who got up who I don't know, but he was terrible.
Okay.
And he rubbed the head of the guy who worked for the network.
Oh,
so it was
the
like
NBC guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was NBC. It's one of those,
Jeez.
something with letters, but it was definitely
Okay.
ahead of something.
Yeah.
And
ABC.
he rubbed his
ABC,
head.
NBC. Yes.
I don't know. LAX, whatever. Something like that. They're 3 letters.
C-SPAN. No, too many letters. Too
Yeah,
many.
CNN, whatever. It was one of
Right.
those things.
Right.
But he touched that guy's head, and I just remember, because that was my first time doing stand-up, being like, you never know who's in the audience.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with people that you're not prepared to fuck with.
Right.
Because that guy talked about him afterwards and was like, I'll never give him a job. And I was like, oh, that guy has no idea that he did
That's
some
hilarious.
shitty mic. And it was like,
And that ruined his entire career.
maybe, at least for that one
Yeah.
thing.
Wow, that's
That's
fascinating.
crazy, right?
Yeah, jeez. I'm
Yeah.
glad I don't touch anybody when I'm on stage.
I'm
That's
glad you
not
don't,
Like,
too.
it's not like a thing.
I'm glad most people, I'd say the good rule of thumb is don't touch people on stage.
Yeah.
What bit requires
Oh.
you to touch people? That's
It's
a
creepy.
shit bit.
I don't know. So weird. I
Yeah.
mean, you certainly
He just
can't.
wasn't doing well, and he was mad that people weren't
Oh.
laughing. So he was like, ah, and it was like, whoa, it's scarier.
Yeah. Well, which tactic, when you see comics not doing well, there are tactics that we all go to, right? One is like crapping on the crowd, being like, oh,
I
you
hate
guys
that
don't
one.
get it. You guys
Yep.
suck. And then the other one is what? What are the ones
My
have you
favorite
seen?
one
Yeah.
that I want to do, it's when
But you haven't needed to do it yet. Is
I
that?
probably have, and I'm just such a, like, I am a narcissist where I haven't noticed. Where I'm
Oh,
like,
sure.
oh, they're not laughing, but it's because I'm laughing so loud in my head. I
Yeah.
can't tell.
Right.
No, there's a comic who does this, and I love it. His name is Frank, and if he does bad, he double downs on the joke.
Oh.
And does the whole joke again. And then he'll do the whole joke again. And to me, oh, what a joy that would be.
Interesting.
That's torture.
Do the whole, no, but people lose their mind by the
Yeah,
time. Like,
of course, by
if
the
you,
end.
If you do your first joke and it bombs and it's a minute and you just keep redoing that minute until
Yeah.
your time is up, what? Like, I would do a 20-minute set like that. I would love
Interesting.
that.
That's madness.
Interesting.
I would love that.
I want to try that. I like that tactic.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't change anything about the joke.
Oh, and that's
just-
the best part. And that's what makes it funny. Because the first time you're like, oh, this isn't funny. Then he does it again.
Yeah.
And you're like, did he just restart that joke? So it's like you're not laughing yet. You're like, wait,
Right.
what? And
Like,
then he
what's
does
happening?
it again. You're like, you're a genius.
The rule of threes
Yeah.
strikes again.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So you haven't needed to use that yet.
I don't
But
know.
that
I
would be your
definitely
go-to.
bombed, but yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
actively in that moment.
Yeah.
I probably panic in the bomb moment instead of being like,
Sure.
oh, go to your witty thing.
I usually end up just blaming myself publicly in front of the crowd. Just
That's
like,
fair.
hey, I'm just working on this. So I guess that one was bad.
I
Yeah,
try
I do like-
crying.
You do. It's a
Yeah,
good one.
that one helps.
The Andy Kaufman.
I like it when people do the, oh, that one's not going to make it.
Yeah, that's a good.
The which one? Like that's not
The
going to make my
cross it off.
special or
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you, whatever.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so you don't remember what got you, or I guess you remember what got you started, but you don't remember when that was.
No, it was like 9 years ago.
Got it.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I liked stand up a lot as a kid. And I know that looking back, I can see like the seeds of planting it, but I wasn't conscious
Oh,
of it.
Yeah, of like
until
one
I did
catalytic
it.
moment.
Yeah. Like, I remember getting, is it grounded if you're in school? What is it? Detention.
Detention. That's
Yeah,
at
yeah.
home. Grounded is at home.
Well, if I was homeschooled, it both were, but I wasn't.
Really? I would have. Okay.
I should have been.
Yeah.
Save the people.
Oh man. Man.
Yeah, I got in trouble for something in school, which was typical. And then I had to stay inside for recess.
Okay.
That was my punishment.
Got
and
it.
so I opened all the windows of the classroom, and then I would like pantomime dance. And then like I had this huge audience, and I was always
Interesting.
I was always trying to put on a show for people. Like I'd pretend to get electrocuted and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't know, man.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't even do physical comedy, but I should.
Yeah, you should
Should
go
bring it
back.
back.
I think what you should do is next time you've got a bald guy in the front row,
Touch him.
touch his head.
Yeah.
Right?
Give him a pet.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
for good luck.
I do think women can pet more than men, so on stage.
In
Yeah, I'd
every
be
way.
way more
Yeah.
okay with that. Yeah.
I think every
yes,
I think the whole
yes.
Me Too movement has been totally misunderstood.
Yeah, what's the 2020 hashtag gonna be though? Because like I
don't
always
know.
joke like, oh, it's 2019, you can't do that to me. But like, when am
Yeah.
I gonna say, oh, it's
In
2020,
2020?
it's the same thing as 2019, you can't do that.
What I
want
want to know is if the 2020 hashtag is going to bring back 2020 the show.
Ooh, isn't
The
2020
news
still
show.
out?
Yeah, but I mean, how popular is it? I guess if you're 65 and up, it's like your jam.
Yeah.
But anyhow, interesting. So what else have you been doing for stand-up? Or when did you move to L.A.? Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
And
What part?
then
What part of Canada?
Toronto.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was born in Vancouver, but I moved to Toronto when I was 2.
Yeah.
And then I started being a dancer for people who are singers. Yeah.
For really rich people.
Well, I danced for the
private
NBA and
dances?
stuff like that. Yeah. No, yeah. I wasn't in some child weird. What are those things? Yeah, I wasn't in that.
Jeffrey Epstein. He never gave you a call.
Oh,
You
no
were
one-
safe.
I'm upset. I should have been. I was cute. I was hot.
They make pretty good money on that island, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Watch
yeah.
it.
So you started
Free food.
dancing.
Yep. And then I booked some tours and stuff like that, and I moved
Yeah.
to New York, and I was dancing there. And then I got in a car accident when I was like 16 and was like in a full body cast almost.
Oh, jeez.
And couldn't
Were you
dance
driving?
for 2 years. Yeah, somebody hit me from behind,
Gosh.
and I couldn't dance for 2 years or wasn't supposed kind of thing. And,
Right.
and then that's when I realized that like kids hang out. I had no knowledge of after school parties.
Interesting.
That was when my mind exploded.
Is that right?
And that's when I met Bill Clinton. No.
Fascinating. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like your
So-
body cast. Can I sign it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was that.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
And
But-
then
Yeah.
then
Go
I
on.
was in New York for a few years,
Yeah.
and then I moved to Florida for a guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was
What
like
part of
19.
Florida?
No, I was like 21. No, it was after 21. It was after 21. Tampa.
Oh.
And me and this guy,
Yeah,
he
fun.
had got our place in Florida, and then I got there, flew there. He went in, and I found out he had cheated on me. And
Wow.
this is like 21, 22. First guy I was ever going to move in with.
Yeah. And
And
he'd
we-
already cheated on you.
Yeah.
Like while you were on flight.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, I think he went, well, he drove everything up, so I'm sure it was on the,
Oh.
or I think it was in New York, whatever. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. Right.
But then I remember having this argument and being like, you cheated on me. And he was like, no, I didn't. And then I calmed down and was like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? It is? And I was like, ha ha, you did.
Mind fucked him.
Figured it out. And then I just
Unbelievable.
left.
How did you know, though? How did you know that he had
I
cheated
think
on
you'll
you?
always know. Like you have that gut
Just had
feeling
the
when somebody
woman's
does
intuition.
it. And there's probably text. I mean, this was so long ago. I just remember him throwing something and me being like, I'm out. And I walked out
Yeah.
and nothing happened. Like he didn't hit me. He just got
Yeah.
whatever. And then I
Right.
flew back to New York, talked to my mom. And then my mom was like,
I told you.
I said, I told you this is dance. Dance is good for you. Somehow dance came up as like the only skill that I had. And
Is that
then,
what your mom really wanted you to do?
I think so.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
She's to this day says she doesn't care what I do, but I think a large part of it.
As long as it's dance.
Yeah, exactly. No, I
Yeah.
think she just always used to say, it's the thing you're good at, which was like her nice way of being
Oh.
like, you have no life skills, which is very true.
Do you feel like she bred you to be a dancer?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
My mom wanted to be a dancer.
Oh.
I was on TV for dance when I was 5.
Yeah.
I was a child dancer. I was on tour when I was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of those
Okay.
kids. For
Yeah, yeah,
sure,
yeah,
my
yeah.
mom. She wasn't
Wanted
like,
it.
she wasn't crazy about it. I
Yeah.
think my sister would say maybe
Yeah.
she was. I don't think she was.
Does your sister also dance?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still.
She teaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is she still in Canada?
Yeah, she lives in Vancouver
Got it.
at a great studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Interesting.
And then I moved back. Like my mom was like, so you can either stay in Florida because I had a job there for
Yeah.
dance,
Yeah.
or I could move back to New York. And I stayed in Tampa,
Oh, wow.
but not with that guy. I got my
Yeah.
own place. And
Yeah.
then I lived there for a few years. Then I moved to LA to like become an actor.
Okay.
Stayed here for like a year.
Yeah.
My brother went to prison. There's so much drama,
Fun.
guys. So drama.
Now, are
Um,
those the only siblings you have?
no, I have
There's 3 of you?
4.
4.
I've actually more. We'll get into
oh.
that.
Oh.
I have a lot of siblings.
Amazing. Yeah.
I
We're
have
all
the
children of God,
history
so.
of a comedian. There is a reason.
You were a child star.
Yeah, I went from
as a
crawling
dancer.
to like. So I was in Florida. My brother was
Yeah.
going to prison, but he was being extradited, and so from Canada to
Yeah.
the United States. And because of the rules, he was going to get sentenced to wherever his local family member was. And being the only family member, I was in California at the time.
Yeah.
Prisons out here are a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I moved back to Florida so
For
that he
him?
could be in a good prison.
Interesting.
And then they sent him to a prison in Jersey because it was close to Canada, and I was super pissed.
What the heck?
Yeah, and then I moved back to California eventually. Ugh, what a nightmare. Yeah, I'm a good sibling. He was in
Yeah.
prison, and I
Wow.
wanted him to have a good time.
hotter guys in Florida. Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, no. Oh, yeah, for
Oh
him?
my good. Yeah.
Not for me.
In prison.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you came back to LA.
Yeah, and now I've been here.
And
now
that's
I'm
where you've
here.
stayed. Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
brother's out of prison.
Gotcha.
Watch out. I'm kidding.
Don't hurt me.
Don't mess with me. I know people. Oh, please don't ever. Oh, now I'm going to be in some court case where they're going to use this footage. It's like, see, it's true. She might have had some.
She was purposely moving around the country, manipulating our justice system. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, fun. So, you've always been interested in comedy.
Yeah, I've always loved.
Have you been conscious of like why you've been interested in it, or?
I think I just use comedy in uncomfortable moments. Always. Like my father died, and I did a knock-knock joke, and that was a bad
At
timing.
the funeral?
Thing. Yeah, bad. My mom was pissed. I do remember that.
What was the joke? Do you remember the joke?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Guess who's not here? Oh, wow. I guess it's like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So I guess I'm
amazing.
not worried about bombing because I've already had the biggest bomb of my life.
I think. How old were you when you did this joke?
16.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was at the door
That
of his wake.
is
Like because he had
amazing.
remarried. My mom, my sister, and I were like at the door, and I was like, "Hey, Tammy, knock knock." And then it was like, my mom was like, "Oh, good," and I was like, and then the door opened, and I was like, "Eee, nice to meet you." And then I found out I have a lot of siblings, so that's how.
that's where the other siblings
Yeah,
come
yeah,
from. Your step siblings, right?
Yeah, that I don't know at all.
Oh,
Some of
okay.
them don't even speak English. It's so great.
What
They're
do they-
Romanian.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad was
Fascinating.
like trying to be the new Genghis Khan.
Just colonizing through marriage?
Just not even marriage. No, he cheated on everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
he didn't believe in religion.
Yeah.
See what I did?
There are lots of people who do believe in religion and do terrible things.
That's true.
So I don't know if that's the only, but what did he do? What did your dad do?
He was a okay, you have to forgive me. I've met him once.
Oh, really? So
yeah,
he left when you were...
He left before I was born.
Gotcha.
I was court ordered to meet him in like I forget what grade.
Well, that's the way you want to meet your dad.
100%.
by
Yeah,
force, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember him buying a pack of cigarettes. And then when he died, I started smoking cigarettes the week he died to be like, you can't, because he died of lung cancer. And I was like,
Wow.
I'll get you.
By like surviving lung cancer? Was
Pretty
that
much.
your
I don't know,
tactic?
man. Yeah, because I think like everyone was like, is one thing he would tell you is don't smoke. And I was like, oh, if that's the only seed
then
my
I'm
dad would
gonna-
do, then I'm going to do the
Wow.
opposite.
So that's how rebellious you are at heart.
Yeah.
Even to get back at the dead guy.
100%.
Man.
Yeah.
That's such a woman thing to do.
Oh, is it a female thing?
feel like
think it's
that's-
a teen thing.
Maybe so.
I'm like that still, though.
I
But
don't
yeah.
know. I just never felt that vindictive toward.
Anybody? Oh,
yeah,
I love
and I think it's
doing
because
that.
I'm a man. I just don't care about those kind of. But
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
It's
All my
2019,
women
you
listeners are
can't
gonna
say
hate
that.
me now. Yeah, there's no difference between gender. It's a construct.
What is a construct?
I mean, a building.
It's a word.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a social idea.
Yeah.
Do you have strong feelings about gender? How canceled do you want to be after this podcast is done?
I don't really care about gender.
Yeah, fair enough. Good. So let's talk about like
Fair enough. Good. Moving on.
milestones in your stand-up career. Anything you've been super proud of up until
No.
this point? No, nothing, nothing at all.
I have a special coming out.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
When is it? When is it?
It's taping January 11th, 2020.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
hour. Actually,
Yeah.
over an hour because I met with like some networks that I can't say. They said
They're
that
3 letters.
women have to do more than 70 minutes in a sweet spot 73, and men have to do
What?
65.
What? What is that about?
I'm just saying it's not a construct.
And you're all,
I'm kidding. But yeah, just
get
statistically
to
when things are
do-
like viewed, and that includes
Yeah.
like credits and opening.
Interesting.
I'm giving you guys the secret.
yeah, this is crazy.
Ooh, yeah. If
That's
you
good.
watch them, you'll see how long most women's are over 70.
They're over. Why is no
'Cause
reason?
we have to talk longer because we know how. I don't know because we talk a lot. I have
the
no
heck?
idea. It's not.
Can you get a discount if you show skin, or is it?
I should, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
Maybe that's
excited,
why
though.
Bert Kreischer's was so short. He was topless the whole time.
Yeah, it's fair. No one.
You only
wanna-
have to
yeah.
talk for 40 minutes.
No, I needed to be that short.
It either has
Yeah.
to be like 15 minutes or over an hour. Yeah, it's like there's these two weird
Interesting.
things.
Huh. All right. Well, inequality in every sector.
Well, mine will have a quality because I'm gonna have 4 male backup dancers that are topless
Excellent.
Nice.
because I'm getting back. And all of
Excellent.
those times I had to.
They should be
crawl.
bottomless, right?
Well, I don't. It's my dream, not your dream.
I do have a lot of Magic Mike dreams.
I've never seen that
or
movie.
Miracle Mike. What's it called?
I've
It's called
never
Magic
seen
Mike.
Magic Mike, and I've never seen the Shades of Grey. I've never seen any of that stuff.
I haven't seen either of those either. Travis,
no
how were they?
desire-
I've never
to
watched
see
any
them.
Shades of Grey. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't want to be uncomfortable in a movie theater.
Really?
Like
that. Like that.
I don't know if
uncomfortable.
it would turn me on, and if it did, do I want to be in a theater? Like that's so
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know.
Seems like a home viewing.
It's like a puddle when I get up. Gross.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
It's because you spilled your drink. We know.
Yeah. That's sticky.
These
No.
floors are sticky.
The soda. It's soda.
Yeah.
Sugar sticks.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
It was like 7-Up or something.
What about terrible moments? Any terrible moments that you remember
the
during
worst.
stand-up?
Yeah.
Other than at
There's
your
so
father's
many
funeral.
easy terrible moments.
Yeah.
I was in Florida. Florida. No, I'm kidding. I lived here, so I was visiting, and I was
Got
doing
it.
something in Orlando at a hotel.
Oh.
And
Fun.
why is there a mic at a hotel? So it's like a hotel mic, and some guy charged the stage,
Why?
and he was super drunk. But then
Okay.
at first I was like angry, and then I got to this point where I was like, oh, you may just be in this hotel and have no idea what's going on and think that this is like karaoke for stand-up at
Yeah.
your thing, like it's your
But
next.
it was like a booked show.
Right, but he then, because like that was like my rebuttal to him, and then he was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm just trying to help you, and I was like, I don't want your help.
Wow.
And it got real weird, and then everybody in the audience started fighting with each other, and it got like aggressive, like fights.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and that's my time. And I walked away, got paid, and like got in an Uber as fast as I could. I did not stay for the rest of that show.
Interesting. How much time did you do at that show?
I want to say like 15, and then like the first 10 were great.
Yeah.
And the
and
last
then
five, I was so uncomfortable.
was this guy. that
Yeah,
came
and the
out of nowhere.
audience was fine with me. It's just because it wasn't a real, like a theater or anything
Yeah,
like
a
that, where there
club.
wasn't. Because normally they would ask
Yeah, they
them
have
to
a bouncer
leave
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
But it was
nobody
like
there to save me.
A lobby or a
and
bar?
I am not gonna fight somebody.
Really? I thought
You'll be
dancing
thrown down.
skills
I
translated.
will totally like have a dance battle, but I'm not gonna like. If he wanted to dance battle me, I would have been like, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you kick real hard, right?
Yeah.
I would
Right?
definitely.
Yeah.
I could get away from a bad
Like killer
situation,
calves.
but I
like,
don't want to have to. I do
Right.
have big calves.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's good for kicking.
Yeah.
yeah, they are good. They're great. I'm just thinking of all the times.
All the ways that you could have. That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you feel like women have to deal with that more than men, or in shows that you've been in, is it pretty equal? The heckler.
Well, that was
nonsense?
a long time ago. Well, the heckler thing, I was telling you this a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I have been heckled immediately after my first line because I
Yeah.
said I was married. Like I opened something with like my husband, and this guy went, "Oh, I'm not gonna listen." And I was like,
Jesus.
and I lost my mind on that guy. I was like,
should.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
did you
so
think
weird.
that I was gonna fuck you if I was singing? Like I went into this whole thing on him, and he just like sat there like shocked, like and I was like, nah, you just what? And
Yeah.
the audience was so on board with me just being a dick, because apparently he was a dick to everybody, so it's fine.
Oh,
Ooh, I'm
gotcha.
cursing a lot. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Thanks.
Yeah, you be you.
I have no control over it, and she just has to beat me constantly.
Yeah. I put out 2 versions of this. One's an edited, one's an unedited.
Oh, fun. What are
Travis
you
is
gonna change
usually-
I
those words
seldom make the edited cut.
Well,
to? You're just not in it. I love it.
no, you're on it, but there's a lot that he says that is.
It'll be like a rap
it's
song
like
when
a
you buy the
zombie
PG
growl
thing, and it's like,
out. Yeah.
oh, I like
Listening
that.
to it at the radio.
You should put a beep every time and keep it.
I
so
do have
people know.
beeps. Oh, keep the
Or like
word.
a weird like woo, like
yeah.
every time like a fun
Yeah, there's
like
a little
the Magic
zombie.
Stick song.
Oh,
You remember
right,
that? Like,
right.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah,
one
that
of
one.
those.
Or every time someone curses, someone goes, Lord Jesus. Like, over
I
time.
could, I could
Yes.
find some voiceovers.
totally could
that's
do that.
That's a great idea.
I'll
What-
isolate
what-
that clip for you.
Yeah, I'll clip what you just did.
Lord Jesus.
With a lisp.
Lord, yes. That's
Although
West
I would
Virginia
count
pastor.
that as sort of taking the Lord's name in vain. That's
Merry
not-
Christmas.
There you go. Yeah, some fun Southern lisper.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Ridiculous.
That's my Pentecostal pastor cousin, Mossy.
Oh, that's how he sounds.
Speak like they love the Lord and Savior so much.
I don't even know what a Pentecostal is.
If they believe that they speak in tongues, and then they'll be saved by the
Is that
by
their
the
tongue?
Jesus. Yeah. That's why they lisp, because he
They
speaks
believe in a lot
tongues.
of sort of fantastical elements of.
Do you know a lot about a
Religion.
lot of religion?
I don't.
Okay,
I
because
don't.
there's
I
like
know
40,
some.
right, or 30 something.
I think there are lots.
There's
It's
a
like
lot,
140
but there's like
branches
4
of
that people talk
Christianity.
about, and that's it.
I know. Well, and it depends on whether you count, because some people will count cults as as religions. Others count
Isn't-
cults as separate.
And then some people think religion started
And then
as
some
cults.
people religion. Yeah, right.
Oh,
exactly.
if you're
And
talking
that's
about
how
total
they become-
religions, there's 15,000 active religions.
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean there are
planet.
so many.
Do you have Google on that? Is that what you? I would be Googling over there the whole time.
Travis,
I just
I think
know-
between us we have a pretty good handle of some of the religions,
Yeah,
but not of
exactly.
all.
Not all
major religions.
15,000. I have
Yeah,
no
but-
idea what's
But
going on. out
Pentecostals
there.
are fun because they believe in a lot of like the magical elements of religion.
Oh,
So
that's
like they're
fun.
the people that
Yeah.
hold snakes and like
They think that like Christ-like miracles happen like fucking now.
So they're like the
Yeah.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones
All the
of-
time.
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
think people really are
religion.
healing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
think like a guy named Larry is healing people with their hands. You know?
Right,
Like
right.
they're pretty.
the televangelists, those people, they're usually from the
Yeah,
Pentecostal
the
vein.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Of-
learning so much.
Yeah. What are
Yeah.
your religious thoughts? Do you have any? Were you
No.
brought up religious?
I went to private. No, I went to Catholic school in Canada. They're not private.
Right.
And then I went to one again when I moved to New York.
Now,
for
was
2
it
years.
Catholic in Canada or was it Anglican?
It was Catholic. I
Got
went
it.
to Cattery Tuckaquitha in kindergarten, and
That's
then like,
fun.
yeah, what a name, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
know, it's
great.
a great name. And then I went to a bunch of Catholic schools, and then in like 5th grade, I moved to a public school because the education was better.
Got it.
Because I'm
And that-
dyslexic, and they told me to leave the like they told my mom that I like
that she couldn't handle it.
because they didn't have like a special ed program, and they were like,
Oh.
she's not smart and she's not gonna get smart here, so put her in a school that will let her do her thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so then I went to public school, and then
Oh.
when I moved to America,
Yeah.
everyone was like, you have to go to a Catholic school because public schools are
It's really bad.
scary. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what you did when you came to America?
Yeah, I went to like a Catholic school with nuns and priests. Like I went from like going to a
Wow.
public school, and I went to like going from this high school in Canada that is a performing arts school. Like
Yeah.
there's a drama department and a
Yeah.
dance, and it was very like Fosse.
Because they
To
kind
a
of
school with like less than 200 people.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
nuns and priests lived on the compound, and I'll
Yeah.
call it a
Wow.
compound because it felt like one. Yeah, it
interesting.
was such a culture shock.
Yeah.
And then our football team's mascot was a Gale, but I'm Canadian, and so I thought that was American slang for like girl. And so I was
Oh.
like, well, no wonder you guys aren't winning. Your mascot's a girl.
What are you
I was like Gal.
What are you talking
Not
about?
a Viking. Whatever. I learned so much. I remember the first time
Yeah.
they had those like high school videos where you like do the opening announcements. I was on that thing,
Yeah.
and I had
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
the pledge because
Yeah.
the chick wasn't there or the dude wasn't there, and
Okay.
I had to read it because I didn't know it.
They had
Obviously.
an immigrant reading the Pledge of
Yeah, and I
Allegiance?
got in trouble because I didn't put my hand on my heart.
Right.
But I didn't put my hand on my heart because I'm not American, so I thought that was disrespectful to like lie. It's like to me like taking communion at your church or whatever that
Oh,
is,
sure.
and not being of that religion.
Yeah.
Like I was like I thought I was being respectful, but apparently
Wow.
everybody has to believe.
Well, it's because they couldn't tell you were an immigrant.
That's probably true.
If you
As
had
someone
browner
from
skin,
outside-
But I
it would've been
definitely
like,
had more of a hoser voice like up here for sure when I first moved to. I was like, oh, okay, let's do these, and I pledge allegiance
Yeah.
to the flag. they thought I was from Minnesota.
Yeah, they probably just thought
Yeah.
you were like, oh, well, she's just making fun of the New Englanders, I guess.
It is objectively terrifying not coming from. I can't imagine what the pledge seems like to someone who's not from here.
Yeah, I had to memorize it and learn it, and then your song too. Your July 4th song is fun.
Our national anthem? Is that what you're talking about?
It's
Canada
really fun.
has one of those too.
Yeah, ours is
Oh,
ridiculous. All of them are
Canada.
Yeah.
all songs like they need to
course.
update them.
Yeah.
All of them.
They're all trash.
They
Yeah.
should be more
They're
fun.
bad.
Especially like the real like republic ex-communist countries.
Yeah.
They got some terrifying songs.
Yeah.
They're always
Yeah.
sound
Very
like you
militant.
should be getting in line for rice. Like,
It's because you stop paying attention when you sing it. It just so
Yeah.
it becomes a robot song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. Well, wasn't America's a drinking song from England?
Haiti. I don't know.
I think so.
That's
no,
cool.
it was written by Francis Scott Key. I believe during the war.
Well,
of
I know he
1812.
wrote the lyrics, but the melody I think came from a British drinking
Oh,
song.
maybe.
I
People
don't know.
just were
That checks
stealing
in.
shit back then.
I
They
mean,
still are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidding me? Unbelievable.
I know we leave out that second verse.
What do you mean?
Or sorry, the third verse of the national anthem, where he talks about owning people and how
Oh.
dope that
That
is.
was in the national anthem for real?
Yeah. Look at the third verse.
I'm gonna Google it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Our nation was built on some amazing principles.
Well, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah.
So did you ever become an American citizen?
No, I still want a green card. Don't kick me out.
Oh my
Don't kick
gosh.
me out. I'm not
the
using
fuck
my
outta
brother
here.
to get things done.
So you never you didn't go to church every Sunday?
Well, I went to
ever?
church in school. Yeah. So as kids, we went to church. I'm my mom's fourth kid, and she's a single parent at the time. So
Okay.
she's like, we're going to church at Christmas and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and
Yeah.
like the holidays.
Right.
But my mom loved church. My mom wanted to be a nun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she fell in love with my father
And then
got
he
married
left.
and had 4 kids. And then I
Yeah.
was like, well, I should have been a nun. No, I'm kidding. She has 4 beautiful children.
It's never too late,
How
right?
am
She
I
could
not?
like.
Oh my God, I'd love it if
Couldn't
she was
she
a
just
nun.
become a nun? I don't know what the rules are
She
behind
could
all of
now,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Now is McVicar your dad's? Or no, you're married now. So is that your husband's last name?
No, McVicar's my dad's name, and McVicar is not my dad's name. Okay, so it is in that he changed his name when he was 14. So I have no bloodline to
Interesting.
McVicar. So it's really fun.
So it's just totally made up.
yeah,
It's like this.
I love it. And I'm
That's
keeping
great.
it forever.
Was your dad religious at all?
I don't know. I never met him. Remember?
Yeah, but you met him once.
Yeah, but we didn't pray together, and he was dying when I met him. So
Oh,
yeah, I would think that would be
really?
the time when I would have found out.
Jeez.
You
Yeah,
look pretty Irish, though. and
I am very
McVicar's-
Irish.
Okay.
Yeah.
McVicar and McClary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
McVicar.
McVicar is no bloodline, so maybe it's not. I got to do that in 21 and me or
interesting.
whatever that thing is called.
Yeah, 23.
21.
Well,
It's 21.
Vicar is
Because you
Vic-
just give them your
forever-
alcohol, right?
Forever 21 and 23 and me.
Got it.
No.
Got it.
Isn't
Don't-
vicar another way of saying priest?
Yeah, it's
I
like
actually
clergyman.
did stand up in Ireland, and McVicar means son of a bishop. Because I
Oh.
did stand up, and the host
Son
brought
of a
me out, and he
bishop.
was
That's
like,
actually
"This is a
kind
shite
of
of a last
hilarious.
name. Please welcome." And my intro was "She's shit," and I was so excited because it was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't be here if that's my last name." Because
Interesting.
bishops aren't allowed to have sex.
Yeah.
So like, I'm
Oh, so
the lineage of the R word.
Yeah. So by definition, you shouldn't
you're-
exist.
you're-
That's just
Yeah,
what-
100%. There shouldn't be a
Vicar.
McVicar line, and
Right.
at all.
Like the worst
We're
kind of.
just bad people.
Well, you're just the worst kind of bastard. You can't be
I'm okay with
blamed
that. I'm okay with that.
for what your father and mother did.
When my parents got divorced, my mom was so religious that I asked why she didn't have her marriage. There was some like Catholic
Annulled or
word or
something,
whatever,
yeah.
and she was like, 'cause she didn't want us to be bastard kids
Wow.
because she wanted
Wow.
the whole heaven.
So she
thing.
was religious.
My mom
and
still is. Yeah,
then-
yeah, yeah.
Oh, she still
She
is.
definitely believes in
Got
all
it.
of that. She loves church. She loves Catholics.
Got it.
She loves. She loves the bread. She loves the bread.
Yeah.
She loves
But
the wine.
you, no, not so much.
No, none of my siblings are. I mean, my oldest brother's super gay, and so like,
Yeah.
I always say super gay, not regular
As opposed
gay.
to just regular gay?
No.
Yeah, what does that
Incredibly
mean?
gay.
It means he lived in a purple building. He's super gay. He did.
Yeah.
If you go to Toronto, you'll see a giant gay building. It's very
And that's
purple.
his?
Yeah, I'm not lying. He painted it. I mean, he didn't. He hired
Interesting.
people.
Yeah. Why didn't he
We're
do
not like
the
peasants,
pride
I'm kidding.
flag thing?
It's there,
Oh, just
but it's
not
just
the whole house.
super like this wall. Like imagine that
Yeah,
in a
oh.
building in a city.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, everyone knows it's the gay building.
That's
it's
great.
Really nice.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
cool.
And so like my problem with religion at the time,
Yeah.
because I went to that Catholic private school in New York,
Yeah.
the priest would be like, "You can be gay, but you can't act on it."
Right.
Was always a thing, and
Right.
I'd always be like, "Well, then are you saying my brother's going to hell?"
Yeah.
And I'd get in
Only
these
if he
huge
acts on it.
debates. Well, and he did. I was like, I've met his boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, maybe," and I was like, "Well, then why would I want to go to heaven?" Like I was very angsty
Right.
of like, why wouldn't I want to hang out with my family?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want me to go hang out with just a bunch of goody two shoes?
Yeah.
Like
It's gonna be
you.
so fun. Are you kidding me? We're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Hoot.
But now the jury's out. I don't know what I feel anymore.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
believe in an afterlife?
I go in and out with that. I would love
Interesting.
for there to be one,
Yeah.
but science says there isn't. So I'm like,
I mean,
well, maybe.
science says there isn't. Travis is with you
No,
on this.
not
I don't
one
know what you
person
mean.
has ever come back and been like, "Hey, like,
There is an afterlife.
yeah, I need someone
Yeah.
to come back and be like, there's
So
a thing."
Okay,
But if I'm on a plane, I'm still gonna be like, "Please don't go down. Please don't go down. Please don't go down."
But what about like the near-death experiences?
Yeah,
You don't believe any of those?
No, because that's not death. Like you need to come back from the dead and tell me the truth.
Yeah, full Lazarus.
And like
Interesting.
when my brother passed away, I thought I saw him, and so
Yeah.
in that moment I was like, oh, maybe there is. But then
Yeah.
as time progressed, I was like, oh, maybe it's just my brain thinking that there is.
Yeah.
So I genuinely, the jury's out. But I would like there to be one, but I'm not
Interesting.
wasting my time on this planet thinking about
Thinking
it.
that there is one?
Yeah, because like, what if there isn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like.
Do you feel like you'd do things differently if you did believe in religion? I mean, what about your life would
yeah,
you
well, it like for
have
your
changed?
religion, you can't drink, right?
Right.
I like that. I
Yeah.
want to keep doing that.
You want to
But
keep
Catholics
drinking.
drink all the time, so it's not a big
Well,
deal.
Is it a sin in the Catholic Church to
No, they
drink
so
alcohol?
much. I actually lived in a Catholic. When we first moved to New York, the place that we moved into was a house that used to be a Catholic school back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
like in the 1700s.
So you've always
1800s.
been in a Catholic
and
school.
it has like 100%. And it
Yeah.
had this little secret nook where the priest used to drink in the library.
Yeah.
Drink Nook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
dope.
communion wine or no?
No, it's like
their
this little
own
secret.
stash.
Yeah. Because they used to be like
Interesting.
super alcoholics.
Well, you got to
Maybe
do
they still-
something,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It'd be harder to remain celibate if you're an
Yeah.
alcoholic, you
You
know?
think it'd be harder?
Yeah.
Maybe.
don't
I mean,
know.
it
I
probably
feel like it'd
ease
be
the
easier
pain, but
because you guys
also-
can't, like, no offense, get it up when you're too drunk. So, like, wouldn't it help you?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
any
that's
of what
true.
you're talking about right
Have
now.
you never had alcohol ever?
Never.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's not a bad. Don't ever do it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because if you haven't started, like, I get,
Right.
like, I had a friend who tried cigarettes in their 30s, and I was like,
Ooh.
why would you do that?
Yeah, at
You
this
got
point.
to, like, you passed all of the,
Yeah.
like,
You're supposed to do it when your dad dies, and he's been telling everyone not to smoke
Exactly.
when you're 16.
yeah, let's do that joke
Yeah.
one more time so it's funny again.
Word for word.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, never. I've never actually been interested in drinking
That's fair.
because I feel like all the portrayals of drinking is like,
Yeah, and you also, when you see people who are drunk and you're sober, you're like,
Yeah.
why are you doing
Yeah,
this?
what's
Like,
going
I've
on?
definitely done sober days on purpose on days where everyone's drunk, like at
Oh.
like Mardi Gras and stuff like that.
interesting.
Again, I guess I am very
Just
like
sort of
angsty.
people
Like, I'll
watch.
prove you.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't have
I'm
to
not.
go with the crowd.
I won't drink today on the day that everyone's drinking, but I'll watch you all and I'll judge you so hard.
Yeah.
Plus, Seth,
Yeah.
you've already got kids. That's usually the end result of years of drinking. you know?
Right. Right. No, we did that all sober.
Yeah,
we made
but
those
man, you're
decisions
good.
all by
You're fine.
ourselves.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I guess we ended up in the same spot.
What about when you get to old age? Do you think you'll try all these things? You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Why would I live my whole life and then do it when it's like not fun?
What are the other things you can't do?
So it's
Drugs,
Obviously.
other than like what doctors
no
prescribe.
caffeine,
right.
too, right?
Oh, so you're not-
Caffeine's not a thing. I mean,
Is
it
it
is a
not a
thing. It exists, but it's not like against our religion
okay.
to not partake of caffeine. I love Mountain Dew. We've talked about this.
so
Oh, yeah,
everything
so
else
Yeah.
is the same.
Mostly. No extramarital sex.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that anyways. Like, a lot of these things
What do
are
you
like,
mean you're not supposed to do that anyways? Tons
You're
of
not-
people.
oh, you mean
We live
like
in LA.
before
Lots
you're
of people are
married,
supposed to do
right?
that. Before or after?
Right, yeah. But when you're married, you're not supposed to have other people's sex
Of course
too, right?
not.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, that's normal.
Yeah.
Right? I'm supposed to be having sex with all these people right now? No
I
one told
mean,
me.
we're in LA. Lots of open relationships are out there.
That's
you know,
true.
I don't understand that. But no, yeah, right.
yeah.
No,
I don't understand. I'm not against it, but I would have a panic attack over it
Man.
because I would be so jealous.
Probably
I'd be like,
have
oh,
to.
you're going to finish with her? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sure, give me eye contact.
Maybe
Let's
I'll
see
just
how
kill
this
you.
works.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, no. So no premarital sex, no extramarital
But I
sex.
think a lot of people do that. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that as well.
Without being
but
religious.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. For family unity and all that.
Well, for the fear of STDs
Nonsense.
right now.
Yeah, that part's terrifying.
Woo.
That's the part
Super
of every
gonorrhea.
Yeah. Oof.
It's a thing.
Every checkup my wife and I go to, individually, physicals or whatever.
Yeah,
and
you
the
know, you
doctors
have to
are
go with her
like-
every
yeah,
time
every
because
time.
that's the religion is you run
Well,
her.
and
I'm
she's seeing
kidding.
a male doctor. I'm there. You know what I mean? But there's so much of this like questioning about, well, do you have how many, the STD questions
Yeah, there is a lot of them.
that we're like, no, we're fine. They're like, are you sure? Have you been tested?
They do ask that a lot, and I
No,
panic.
We're
I'm always-
good. Yeah.
I always panic. I'm like, please,
So-
just test me for everything.
So far, we're.
you should be. Obviously,
yeah.
you can't create a disease.
No,
That's what's weird.
it's a controlled environment, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
That's cool.
I forgot what we were talking about right before we got off on the STDs because that's such a captivating
drinking,
subject. Oh yeah, drinking.
caffeine.
I hate throwing up. That's why I'm
Oh,
never
no one likes
interested in drinking because that
We gotta
seems like
slow your
a
roll.
But you don't have to drink that much to do that. That's people who can't.
I
like,
know.
They can't control
yeah.
or have awareness. Of
I
how
understand
much.
that, but like that's what I'm
You're
afraid
afraid.
I would
That's
be
fair.
doing because
I'm afraid of pot.
Really.
Yeah, I'm so afraid.
Yeah.
I want to do it so bad. I do. I
Do
want to be
you?
cool. I have a pen and everything. It doesn't even work anymore. I've had it for too long.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to.
So what scares you about it? The paranoia? Is that right?
I have been high in my life, maybe
Yeah.
not, Mom. And I was
On
at the,
marijuana?
I was at
maybe?
this party and I got contact high. This is a real one. I'm not lying. I
Yeah.
was contact high because it was like a hot box of
Oh.
weed, and I was like,
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with weed in general. I have two problems with weed.
Okay.
First problem being that everyone passes it along.
Sure.
I don't like that. I don't like to share. I don't want your germs. It's gross.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And the second part is like, if you were smoking weed right here, we would all get high because we're in a small room. With drinking, if you were to be drunk,
he'd have to
I'm not
smoke-
going to get drunk just for
Right.
sitting with you.
Right.
That's where my problem is with it.
Yeah. Fair
But
enough.
I still want to be cool. So I like hung out with all of them, and I got so high. I took my shoes off, and I stood outside on Hollywood Boulevard, and I was like, babe, I'm barefoot and pregnant. And he was like, what? And I like had a huge panic attack. I was like, no, that's it. Our lives are over. I'm barefoot and pregnant.
Oh
He was like,
my
are you late? And I was
gosh.
like, no, but I will be.
I just feel it. I know.
Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't
Interesting.
pregnant,
Yeah.
but I was barefoot
Yeah.
because I did that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. I'm crazy as it is. I don't need extra help.
See, that's sort of where I am too. I feel like people would be scared of like, I don't know, back in the day when it was not allowed, right? People
But
were
do you
scared
think
of-
now that it's like CBD and stuff, you could do that? Because I feel like I'm gonna do this. I kind of want to do it on like one of those high shows, just for fun. Like if I'm gonna
Oh,
do it,
sure.
do it on a weird open mic and be like,
yeah,
book
right.
me. I've never done this, so
I'll
it'll
be
be really
totally
fun.
crazy. Yeah, I think for medicinal purposes it would be okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not for everyone either, because it affects everyone very
a
differently.
little
That's
differently.
true, but
yeah.
now that it's regulated as well, like
Yeah.
all of those stories are from before it was regulated. So I feel like now that it's
Right.
regulated, it's got to be.
Right.
Yeah, and you
lot
can go to a
better.
dispensary and like ask them what would be better
Yeah.
for you, especially considering your last time you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Hey,
just don't
so
like
I'm
it.
nuts.
Oh, you don't like weed?
No, my girlfriend smokes all the time.
Yeah, I have
like
nothing against people who smoke weed. I
Yeah.
don't care.
It's just not. It's just not. Doesn't work for me. I just
Yeah.
get too fucking lazy.
Oh, is that what it
I
is?
just don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I just sit
You don't
there
find
and
that
stare.
liberating? Yeah.
No, I already don't want to do anything.
See, I
I
feel
don't
like
need help.
my level of paranoia would jump to like, oh, Jesus is coming back, like
Oh.
right now.
Do you-
He's
do
gonna
you guys
find
believe
me
that?
smoking marijuana. That Jesus will return?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
yeah.
think he'd be like? Like if he was here right now in 2019,
Probably the way he was before. So
he'd look exactly the same.
yeah, I think so.
Do you think he was white or black?
I mean,
Jury's
I think he was
out?
Middle Eastern.
Okay,
so
that's
whatever
fair.
that means.
Yeah, that
An
makes more sense.
in-betweener? I don't know.
That's
What do you
so-
call that?
I call that you're
Spelled
getting
right.
in trouble tomorrow. You can't say that.
Is that not okay?
I agree with that.
Our skin is all way too white on this panel to talk about that.
They can't see me. They don't know what I look like.
That's fine. They'll be okay, KK. Yeah, I think he'll look exactly the same. I think
Like
he'll
not
be-
even a haircut.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think he'd come back and be like the CEO of Jewel, the vape pen or something? Like, to be
No,
super cool?
yeah, no, I
Like,
don't think so.
Hey guys, Like, I don't know why I don't.
What's going
I
on?
visualize him coming back as an adult if he comes back, like he's never a baby.
Yeah,
Also,
of
do you
course.
think that Mary never
Of
had
course.
sex, or did she just not
Yeah.
lie about it?
No, I think it was a miraculous conception. I do
Because they
think-
didn't have the ability to test back then. And what was that orgasm like? Can you imagine? That's
Angel
something
orgasm.
I would be interested
I
in.
mean, I don't know. Could have been while she was sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, what a night. That's not nice. Come on. If you're gonna,
Just
if you're
saying.
gonna,
If you're gonna benefit,
impregnating
You better
someone, at
benefit
least
from
give her
it.
like a godly, like, hey.
I guess. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't really think about because it's sinful.
Oh,
to
you're not
think
even allowed
about
to think
another
that?
woman orgasming? Come on.
Wow. I just think about everything. Maybe
No, I
yeah.
think it's fascinating.
I'm not against. Yeah, I'm not against any religion, and I'm not for necessarily any religion.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like
You're an
I
in-betweener?
try to be nice. I don't want to get arrested. Things like that. I'm not touching that one.
Yeah. I think he's going to be, I mean, when he comes back again, it's supposed to be pretty militant. Not like,
Like he's gonna be in the army.
no, not necessarily, but he's supposed to
Army
come back to
Jesus?
save all of the Jews.
Dope.
Right?
Wait, he's coming back to save the Jews. You guys even think that, and not
Yeah.
being Jewish?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't you want to be Jewish?
Well, because we sort of think we are. Like Jew 2.0. That's sort of
Oh.
what we think.
Cool.
Yeah.
2.0.
So you
2.0.
count when Jesus is coming back for the Jews, he's coming back for you guys too.
Because we believe we've been adopted into the house of Israel.
Okay.
So we're adopted Jews.
Did anyone tell you guys that?
We did.
Do Jewish
Our
people say
prophet
that?
did. No, Jews. I don't think
How
Jews.
can you be that's
really
like being
feel that
adopted
way.
from a family and then them being like, yeah, but we didn't adopt you. Get out of my house.
It's sort of like when a kid has parents and then something happens in the family and they grow up and then they find out they have step siblings.
Oh, my
much
childhood.
later.
Got it.
Yeah, that's sort of who we are.
Okay.
We're like, hey, surprise,
Yeah,
we're
and
part
they
of your
don't
family.
speak English and they're from Romania. Got it. I understand all of this now.
That's exactly it. That's
Cool.
it. That's it.
So maybe I'm the new Jesus. Do you think he'd be a chick? Oh, that'd be so great.
No, because I think gender is really important.
Okay.
I don't think gender's a total construct. I think gender interests are a construct, right? Like Barbie's being a girl thing. I think that's a construct.
Mhm.
But as far as like vaginas and penises go, no, those matter.
But-
That's what I think.
So you think Jesus has to be a girl? So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Do you think God would have another kid that's a girl then too?
Of
'Cause you gotta
course,
have
we're all
both,
children
right?
of God,
That
right?
That's a
We're all part of His family. Yeah, we believe in a heavenly Father, heavenly Mother. So I also think Jesus was
What's
married
God's wife,
or is
then?
married now. What is she? She's a woman, a very powerful
like it's just
woman.
God, or there is God.
Yeah, I think they're a unit. I think
So confusing.
often when we talk about God, I think we should be talking about both. That's what we're referencing.
Okay.
Because I think
Neat.
Elohim is a plural noun
Okay.
in Greek.
How do you deal with comedy and all of these people? Because like a lot of comics get up and just do like really gross things.
Yeah, of course they do. I find it fascinating,
Okay.
but that's why my act doesn't really center on the gross stuff. I get dark.
Yeah.
And I make fun of religion. I make fun of my own religion, but I try to do it in a way that's like, I also make fun of atheists, you know? So it's
Yeah,
like we're
yeah,
all
you do.
we're
I
all
like that
silly.
joke.
We're all silly.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's, you know,
Do you ever get like so offended that you're like, I can't befriend that person?
no, I've never thought
I do,
that.
and that's not even religious. I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, that person scares me.
No, I just think people are really
fair.
dumb.
Yeah, we are.
Like when people make fun of religion in particular, my first thought is, well, were you religious or are you religious now? Because if not, if never, then it's an insincere perspective.
Yeah, it's like people
Yeah.
jumping on the bandwagon about. I think it's the equivalent to guys talking about how they had sex last night.
Yeah.
I hate that
Yeah,
one
it's-
because
I just think
it's
it's
always
cheap.
from a guy who I'm like, I don't believe that
Did
you
you?
did. I
Yeah.
don't, because they always
Yeah.
talk about how good they are. I'm like,
Oh,
jury's out. I've
and
seen your
that's
face.
when you know they're lying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
they're just trying to tell you that they had sex.
Yeah, they're just bragging
Yeah.
about what
I've
happened
done it before.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I try not to super judge people
That's fair.
based on that. I just think they're bad comedians. I do judge a lot of comedians though. How do you judge women versus men?
Oh, I don't.
And maybe we'll end here because we're almost at
oh, yeah,
time, right?
okay.
We're close.
Getting there.
I think women. I do watch their nails. That's
Yeah.
a weird thing.
I love it.
I just because their hands are on the mic, and I'm like, oh, I need to get a manicure.
I look at their nails too.
Do you really? Because now I'm definitely getting a manicure after this.
No.
I'm keeping my hands a little bit.
I've never looked at a
I've never looked
woman's
at a dude's nails though, so that's not nice.
Yeah.
That's a
You know what I
weird
can't
thing.
help but notice? The size of someone's hand. Like,
Yeah, that part.
like,
Yeah,
think
when the mic looks really small,
Yeah.
I do think that. I'm also very impressed with people who can hold the mic really
or if
low
they have like
and still
freakishly
be heard.
long
Yeah.
fingers and acrylic nails. I'm like, whoa, you like
Right.
Wolverine.
Well, yeah, I think
Right.
anything excessive is something that you would
Sure.
notice for sure. I do think
Yeah.
that women have like a little bit more on the aesthetics still as a problem because
That's a
like
barrier.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like there are women who go up and like are really hot in their outfits.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, we have to get past that to get to the
Yeah.
funny. So unless it's who their persona is on stage, and then that plays into it and
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
But for a lot of times, it's like if a guy gets up in sweatpants, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just different.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So there's that. I don't. Other than that, I think that there are just as many funny women as there are men. I just think percentage-wise, I
Well,
just think
that's
there
where
are
you lost
less.
Yeah. No.
I think there's just less.
What do you mean percentage? Like,
So I think that like 20% of all comedians are great.
uh-huh. Oh, I
Male
see
or
what you're saying.
female.
Yeah.
There's just like 10 females and
For every
90
50.
dudes.
Yeah.
But I'd say it feels like it's evening out more. It
Yeah, I
it
think
definitely
so.
does.
Especially
And I
in
also
LA.
feel like there's way more comics.
Yeah.
Well, Toronto open mic scene, they have most mics are two-list, female, male. So it goes male,
Really?
female, male, female.
Oh.
And I love that because you get up
That's
a lot
interesting.
faster because there's still
Yeah.
less women than men, but
Oh,
there's
sure.
more women than out here
Yeah.
because I think because
Interesting.
that exists.
Interesting.
So you are getting a 50-50 perspective, which is good for the audience
Yeah.
too, because when you do a real show, the audience is usually 50-50 because it's like a date
Yeah.
night.
Date. Yeah.
And when you do open mics, it's like 80% dudes, and it's like, well, that joke will kill in front of a wife, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife loves all of the dick and sex jokes.
Does she really? You're
No,
joking,
she
right?
hates
Okay,
them
good.
so much. That was one deal she made with me in doing stand up. She's like, you can't do a bunch of masturbation jokes.
No.
It's like, well, that's my whole repertoire.
You
So
shouldn't.
yeah.
That's all I do.
Yeah. The one joke I have is
Yeah,
is
tell her now
that
she's not
premise.
here.
Right. That premise. My wife has, this rule that I can't do masturbation jokes, which is a shame because I have loads.
Hey.
Hey.
Dun,
Waka
dun,
waka.
dun.
And we'll end it there.
Yeah.
What else do you want to plug, Kim?
No, just please, if you're in town in Los Angeles, come to my special January 11th. There's 2 shows. If you want tickets, go to www.pleasenoticeme.tv.
Which is the title of the special.
Yep,
right?
and there will be dancers because
So
it's
exciting.
payback.
Topless
so it's a
and
full
bottomless.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
So just naked.
Just nude underwear. The
That's-
nude tone.
It's gonna be them. And then if you want to get tickets at a discount, you can.
Oh, how
you
do
have
they do
to
that?
use the word laugh.
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 Yeah, spelt correctly.
And you get
yeah.
$5 off a ticket.
Ooh.
And there's no like 2-drink minimum or anything like that.
Oh, that's great.
You can drink or not. I'm not
Excellent.
forcing.
Is it a BYOB situation?
No, there will be stuff
served
I think
that you could
but
purchase.
I'm not.
Yeah, cool.
I don't want people to have to do anything but
Right.
sit there and laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why the code is laugh. And the show is called Please Notice Me. I'm branding hard.
Oh, that's excellent. I love it. I love it so much. Cool. All right, so that's January 11th. And
yeah.
I'll
And
put,
look, I did a podcast.
you did it. How'd you feel? How'd you feel? What's your rating on this
I
one?
have to hear it back because I'm worried about some things that I said, which is probably why I don't do podcasts.
Look at Sums Up Podcast.
But I also feel
Yeah.
like if something hit the fan, because this is a Mormon podcast, I could be like, "Can you take that down?" And you would because you have
absolutely.
to.
Yeah.
So I feel
I've had to do
feel
that
good
already.
about that.
Yeah,
For
really,
real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I can tell you after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off camera and off the air.
'Cause, yeah, your listeners don't know that exists
They
at
have
all.
no idea.
Oh,
It's a secret episode.
scandal.
It's been
It's just
out.
floating around on my computer.
Oh, you need
Yeah.
to hold that. That's gonna be
It's
something
there.
fancy.
It's not like
Do
it
a
was
Kickstarter
a
for
fine
that.
episode.
Wait.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Is it the person? Can we start a Kickstarter for it to like make enough money to air it?
Oh no, that's not even the
Because then that
issue.
person might give. Oh,
Yeah, I'll tell you about it.
I
I'll
just
tell
am
you
trying to
about
make
it.
you some money for no
I
reason.
know. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Kim. That's
I
really
Yeah,
appreciate
just
it,
lie
Kim.
and put up a different one. They don't know what the secret episode is.
I know they don't. They have no idea.
You could
Oh,
do-
you mean to have them pay me to release it?
Yeah. Like we started a Kickstarter called
Got
the
it.
Release Secret Episode, and then if you
There you
make
go.
$10,000,
I'll
you'll
release
release
it. Yeah. Interesting.
because
That's
it's
not
going to go to pay for your lawyer bills for putting it back up.
excellent.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's true. Travis, anything you need to plug, dog?
I don't know when this is coming out, so no.
Yeah,
not.
probably in. I'll probably put it out next Sunday.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
I think the only thing that can
People
come out
listening
is
have no
in
idea.
December. Dow comedy show, something or other,
Cool.
on the 14th.
yeah. We'll put this one out pretty quick because of
Sounds
the
good.
January 11th. You need to promo to my 20 listeners. They need to know where to go to
January
find you.
11th.
Okay, cool. And Instagram, you want me to put that on the show
it's
notes?
Kim.McVicar.
Excellent.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Kim.
Thanks for having
This was
me.
great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. We'll catch you next week.
I won't.
Bye.